Jochen Krisch said that these guys may yet become the next journalistic marketplace. So what do you think about that niche? Is that something we should look at?
I wouldn't say it's a niche. It's
Yeah.
huge, right?
Let's Talk Marketplace.
The Marketplace podcast with Ingrid Lommer and Valerie Dichtel.
Hello and welcome back to Let's Talk Marketplace. Just the two of us today, just Valerie and me, your host as usual. But I thought it would be a good point now, just before summer, to maybe look back over the last month and see what has happened in the marketplace space, because there was, again, a lot of news. So that's what we'd like to do today. But yeah, before that, maybe let's look back at last week, because that was nice, wasn't it, Valerie?
Yes, it was really nice. Actually, we are also pretty much before the summer break. So we had our last webinar in the last weeks. And last week, we had our Marketplace Universe Connect event in Munich with 25 different brands and a dinner where you change the table with every course. And it was really, really nice. We were outdoors. It was summer. We had very good food and actually very good talks and very good insights. So it was really interesting to hear. And also how the different tables connected with each other. It was really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. That different people from different stages in the marketplace world, in a way, and also people from the same industry, but on very different tracks when it came to marketplaces, and then sitting together and just interchanging and looking at how the other was doing stuff and going like, oh, that's interesting. Could try that out. So I heard people recommending tools, service providers.
Yeah, we also
like this,
spoke about
really
US
nice.
expansion because one of the guests is originally from the US and now doing European Amazon. And then we also had brands on the table who were European and wanted to go on the US market. So that was quite interesting, really.
Yeah, that's always the nicest evenings. So we're really doing those very quickly again, aren't we? When is the next one?
So I'm planning already. So we're having our next event on the 22nd of September in Cologne at the pre-evening of the DM Expo. We are also at the DM Expo, so you can also meet Ingrid and myself at the DM Expo for a Speed Connect event. And then we are again on the 27th of October in Munich again. And in Nuremberg in February, so there's a lot of things to plan. That's actually how my summer looks like, event planning.
Yeah, I think so. Mostly event planning. That was nice. Yeah, so I guess I hope we'll see you at one of these events as well.
Yeah.
But for today,
to register, you get on our website, marketplace-universe.com/connect events.
Connect, yeah.
And they can register. So
yeah, I'll put it in the show notes as well.
Yes. And now let's go to the news of the last weeks, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because we have quite a lot of stories that I put together, which I found astonishing because, it's supposed to be summer where things are a bit slower, but actually it's not slowing down yet. So yeah, let's see. One of the things that happened was last week, MediaMarktSaturn had their strategy day, where they normally give out the goals where they're going for the next few years with their retail business, but also with their marketplace. And there they set a new marketplace target. They want to achieve 1.9 billion euros in GMV by 2029. Up today, they're around about-ish 800 million. So that would be quite a jump. Interesting, though, it was that they gave out this marketplace target, but they didn't give out an overall e-commerce target. So that makes you wonder in a way, where is this marketplace growth coming from? Is that, contributing to the overall growth of the company, or is it eating into the retail share? Bit strange in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, and to be honest, I think like last year we talked a lot about MediaMarktSaturn, and this year is a bit like there's really a big pause because of like this economy JD thing, which is like still open. So are they acquiring it or not? Are they allowed to or not?
And now the German ministry has now approved of it, so now it's still it lies in Brussels now.
Okay. And Yeah, so the question is really like, what's really happening right now? Because we also met some of the ex-marketplace team of MediaMarktSaturn at our event, for example. And what we see really is there's also in the background so many changes. And to be honest, like in 3
That's
years,
true.
doubling the marketplace GMV. When you hear, okay, team is changing, strategy is not clear.
Yeah.
So,
It's quite a big black box at the moment with MediaMarktSaturn.
yes.
Yeah, we'll see where this is going. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's move on to a very different sort of platform for my second news item. That is something that we normally don't look at, but I think we should, because this is about Uber, or to be more precise, about Uber Eats, which is a delivery service by Uber. And they have launched Uber Eats in now, I think, 5 of their 7 European markets where Uber is active in, as planned. But they are now holding back in pushing out for expansion, because they are pursuing a takeover of Delivery Hero, who are doing basically the same thing as Uber Eats, delivering food from local restaurants to the customers. And Uber Eats is just doing the same, so they want to take them over. Delivery Hero is holding out so far and not too interested. We'll see. But the whole thing reminded me a bit of that we maybe should look a bit closer at these landscape of delivery providers, not just particularly because of Uber Eats and because of food delivery, but all of them, Uber Eats and Delivery Hero and Wolt as well, and and a few others, are also dabbing their toes into local delivery, where they're not just delivering food, but goods from local retail stores. And I remember that at K5 conference, German e-commerce expert Jochen Krisch said that these guys may yet become the next journalistic marketplace. So what do you think about that niche? Is that something we should look at a bit more?
Honestly, I wouldn't say it's a niche. I
Okay,
mean, it's huge, right?
Yeah.
So for us, we that's true. For maybe the marketplace business, it's a niche. Like a marketplace business niche, but overall, it's huge. And for several items of our audience, I'm pretty sure that these platforms are also quite interesting. I mean, imagine we had like supplements, also pet food, right? So everything which is also which would also make sense on platforms like that. I mean,
So everything you need on a daily basis, or regularly.
not heavy bulky stuff, right? But or furniture.
Yeah, and
but
also maybe things that you don't think about too long when buying it.
Yeah.
The customer journey is not long. I need more cat food. So
and something
click order.
you need often immediately, not like,
Yeah.
oh, it's okay if I have it like in 3 weeks or 2 or whatever. So I need it instant. So interesting to look at, I would say. But yeah, we haven't really had a deeper look in it yet, to be very honest.
I put that on my list. I think that would be worth a deep dive. Okay, turning over to a topic that is closer to your fashion heart.
Actually, my grandmother once told me, like, you don't have a heart for fashion. I was like, I studied fashion textile management. She was like, yeah, but I love fashion and you don't. I was like, yeah, okay, that's true.
Okay.
But different story.
Yeah. Your grandma is a tough nail.
She is.
Difficult to please. Anyway, this one is about the ongoing fight between France and Shein, because we have been reporting about this on and on again here on the podcast, but also in our newsletter, that France is really trying to, put stones in Shein's way wherever they can. And this is a new one. France's parliament has given final approval to a law banning advertising, and that includes influencers for Shein, Temu, and AliExpress. So only for the Chinese. So they are not allowed to advertise for their products anymore in France. As it is, you could imagine that the European Commission has already flagged this one, because they said, of course, that doesn't really comply with ad ban services rules that are active inside the EU, but we have seen before that France doesn't really care about those. If they want to go after Shein, they'll just do it.
And
So,
what I also read in our notes is that alongside that, they also had risen their per item fees to 20 euros by 2030. I mean, what, like 20 euro fee for a product which costs 3, 5, 10? Yeah, of course. That does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
if you want to get rid of them.
Yeah, that's obviously the goal. Yeah, get rid of the Chinese players, the Chinese cheaper players. Let's put it like that. But still, that is wow, France again. But I mean, come on, is that a France story, or could this work in any other European state? Will it work in France anyway?
Well, I think. Sometimes I like the French approach because if they don't want something, they really go on the street and say like, and now everything is burning. Sometimes I would say something like that was also sometimes good for some Germans.
I mean, more decisiveness, you think?
Yeah, more pressure from the people, right? So yeah, but different story. Different topic, but
very different topic. Yeah.
Yeah,
but we'll see. I mean, if this is going to touch Shein and Temu and AliExpress at all in France, Shein is the France may fight as much as they want, but Shein is the second biggest fashion store inside France, even if they don't like it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, we'll see.
So let's see.
Yeah, let's see
how it evolves and if the French way is a way or not.
It's the way forward. Let's see. Okay, what else do we have? That is a bit more technical. Amazon has tightened their rules for FBM, so fulfilled by merchant, in its 5 EU markets. So by now, FBM sellers need to hit a 90% on-time delivery rate, cutting default handling times to 1 day, starting on all of that, starting from July 15th. And similar rules are also coming to France, Spain, Italy, and it's also already active in the UK, I forgot to mention. So,
and Germany.
Yeah. And Germany, yes. So, and if sellers are missing the mark here, listings can be deactivated from September 1st. So that is actually quite pressing. So help me out here. Is 90% on-time delivery a realistic threshold, or is that difficult to hit for FBM merchants?
Depending on where you want to deliver, right? But I mean, I think it's... it makes sense on the one side, but on the other side, sometimes like measuring with different rules. Because I don't know, but if I sometimes order something and I'm living in Munich, right? And if I sometimes order something at Amazon Prime and it's fulfillment by Amazon, they don't meet their own guidelines. And then to say like, yeah, okay, but now we tighten and straighten the guidelines for FBM because we want this, but I mean, FBA is like how we want it. Yeah, but sometimes they are also crazy fast. So yeah, I think it's, again, another rule you have to commit to if you are doing that in a very, very fast way. Because, I mean, it's already there, right? Almost 1st of September is like, 6 weeks now. Yeah, that's, I think, the usual Amazon way. Like, oh, we want this now, let's push it through. And let's see what happens.
Yeah, that is just still this Amazon way, put it into effect and say it's effect, takes place in 14 days. Go ahead. Like, okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. What else? That one was interesting. Zalando has industrialized their content production with so-called digital product twins. So they are scaling an AI-powered 3D scanning pipeline that turns a single 7-minute scan of a product into shop images and videos and AR try-ons, you name it. Yeah, and they are planning 45,000 of these digital twins by the end of 2026. So that is, that is quite the leap in technology technology, I think. I thought that interesting, especially with all the AI image production that is going on in the industry at the moment. And Zalando is just sitting there and going like, yeah, I do you one over. I just go with digital twins and maximize my output. So what does your fashion heart say to this? Is that the new content production standard? Is that cool and crazy?
We talked a lot about that, and content production, especially for fashion, is really a thing. And I think it's necessary because on the one hand, it's really difficult to shoot so many images and to get such and also videos, etc. If you don't use AI, and it's very expensive too. So, right, if you imagine like you shoot everything on model, which we did in the past, obviously.
Yeah.
And now you have like 7 minutes and then there's everything ready for this product. But also, to be honest, sometimes the product materials are not as good scanned as they could be. Also, how the product is falling I don't know if like it's the right name, but if you wear a dress, for example, you don't know, is it like a bit like flattery, or is it like how the fabric is really moving or interacting while moving, right? So that's actually something which is then not so well done with AI. So sometimes, I mean, for the mass, it's okay. But if it's really like coming to details, to how's really the white fabric looking in detail, then it becomes difficult. So yeah, let's see how good this AI is, right?
Yeah, that's the question in a way. But
Yeah.
I always look at reports like this and guess like one part of me is saying, yay, technology, and that's really cool and interesting, and the new things you can do. And the other part is saying, okay, that's another industry that is going out of business, I guess, because I mean all the models, all the photographers.
I mean,
hard times.
imagine, I don't know, like 5 years ago, Zalando had huge photo studios in Berlin.
Yeah.
Like with, I don't know how many models, photographers, stylists, etc. And now that's all gone already. I mean, it's nothing just because of AI or since yesterday. Oh, they have it now. No, it's already something which came through the past years. But yeah, as you said, that's pretty difficult for one huge industry. Again.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, one last thing that I wanted to look at is Joybuy. We have been talking about Joybuy before, and we were, let's say, skeptical, I think, because that is JD's European platform. So JD.com is pushing towards the EU, as so many Chinese players are doing, and they are doing it with Joybuy. And so far, JD.com is a full-on retailer, so not a marketplace business in Europe, just a retailer. But and they have started out like that here as well, going to brands, looking for wholesale partners, all of that. But they are now shifting from an online warehouse model to a marketplace model, and that is not open just only to Chinese merchants, but also to selected European merchants, and they will be able to sell through the platforms. And that is interesting. They can either use their own logistics or Joybuy's fulfillment. And that is a particular strong fulfillment that they have been also advertising, because they are really able to deliver really fast and with good rates. So that's interesting here. And I think so where are we going here? What does this tell us about what is JD doing inside Europe? Because I mean, now they are opening up their own marketplace, also trying to take over MediaMarktSaturn, which is also a very strong marketplace in their own specific industry. So JD is quite serious about Europe, I guess.
Yeah, looks like. And as well, also supporting already Chinese sellers and merchants, because that's actually the huge problem they have right now, right? Transferring their products parcel by parcel to Europe is becoming more difficult. But if you place the products already in Europe, then that's much easier to really be faster at the end consumer, and also don't have this hassle which like the new de minimis regulation.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So
But
another one.
yeah, another one. But also, to be very honest, we have the same or similar topics like Temu, AliExpress. So yes, interesting for Chinese sellers in Europe, but also for brands, because that's also what we discussed last week at the event. It was like, yeah, shall we try Temu or not? But is it really good for my brand? And is it really good for my brand recognition, but also for my image? And then that was actually a pretty clear outcome. Was like, we are like, that was actually a big kitchenware company. They were like, we won't ever go there because of the image, right?
Yeah, that is where JD is going for in a different direction, because they are actively trying to set themselves up as we are the most serious partner. We are the a bit more premium than our other Chinese colleagues, which are somewhere down below. We are a bit more of a good environment, more of an Amazon-like environment for brands, and this is what they have been pushing for. And that's the story they're trying to sell. I don't know enough about the platform yet to say if that is true or not. But this is at least the niche they are going for, which I think is smart, because the niche of cheap Chinese platforms is definitely taken. We've got 3 of those already very active in Europe. That's quite enough, thanks. So they are now pushing for a different area inside the business. Let's see. On the other hand, and that is what I said when we first talked about JD, if they are going for that niche, what is setting them apart from Amazon? So why would brands go for them if they can go for Amazon as well?
Yeah, that's quite true. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be looking at that space, I guess. Yeah, and I think these were the news for today. We'll see what the next month will bring. I'm sure that July will be a bit slower, so let's see if we're doing a news episode next in August as well. But for now, that's our update. So thank you for listening, and I hope that was insightful for you.
Yeah. And if you enjoyed this episode, please follow and subscribe to Let's Talk Marketplace on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you're listening to us. It really helps us reach more people in the marketplace industry. And we would also love to see you on one of our events in fall.
Yes, please. Absolutely. Yeah. And you can also tune in next week again, where we'll be talking about marketplace scaling with Daniel Müller, who is a really interesting retailer from Leogra Training. Very concrete and very operational conversation is what awaits you. You don't want to miss that. So see you then, hopefully. Bye-bye. You listen to Let's Talk Marketplace,
the Marketplace podcast with Ingrid Lommer and Valerie Dichtel.